This is episode number 1 of the Vacation Rental Machine podcast. Vacation Rental Machine helps hosts just like you learn how to start, grow, and scale your short-term rental business. This show is all about creating systems that help you automate your business, giving you more time and money freedom. If you're ready to start living the vacation rental life, then subscribe to this podcast today. Come and join us on our Facebook group, The Host Nation, where we'll be talking about starting, automating, and scaling a short-term rental business. If you'd like my show notes for this episode, go to shorttermsage.com/VRM1, or if you'd like my show notes sent directly to your inbox every week, just go to shorttermsage.com/show notes. Now, on to the show. Welcome back, Host Nation. It's your favorite hosts, Julian and John, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about why do you want to become a host? So, John, you said that this is kind of the starting point when you're looking to get ready and get started into the short-term rental space. Asking this question is really important. Why is that?
This is 100% before you jump into this business, you need to answer this question for yourself. And, you know, this short-term rental, Airbnb millionaire thing has been a catchphrase recently. And it's just been this thing that people want to jump in and just do because they think they're going to make a lot of money doing it. And to be honest, yeah, you'll make some money. But what happens when the low season comes? What happens when the downturn of this business kind of comes in? And if you come in like I initially thought, like this was real estate, this is not real estate. This is 100% hospitality. For instance, you get a phone call at 1 a.m. Somebody says, "Hey, I don't have a blanket." What do? How do you feel? Are you jumping out of bed to go bring them a blanket? Or are you upset and you're like, who needs a blanket at 1 a.m.? It's time to wake up. If you're like that latter part that I just explained, this is not the business for you. You really just need to move on and find something else.
You know, that's really key. You know, I just had a really nice conversation with one of the hosts. Actually, she's not a host because she just does real estate, and she basically said, you know, I'm not a hospitable person. You know, she knows who she is, and she rather just deal with the numbers and the finances. Lots of people, they're probably getting into the space again, like it's the Airbnb millionaire, you know, Airbnb something or other that has to do with money. And yeah, it's enticing. You know, lots of people probably want to get into the space because of, you know, the money is there. But is that really in line with who you are as a person? Is, like you said, waking up in the middle of the night to help someone really worth it? Or is maybe sleeping and enjoying your night's rest more important?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, guests will ask you questions and things that you feel like you could find on Yelp. Like, you know, hey, what's one of the best restaurants I can eat at around there? You almost want to send them a Yelp link like, hey, how about you find it yourself? But that's not really what you can say. You actually have to give them a personal recommendation of a few restaurants, whether they like them or not. You know, you just got to be more hospitable than anything. Like, you can't just tell them, go find the information yourself. This business is just really about satisfying people and making good reviews so you can get to the next dollar from the next person. Now, when you mess up and you piss somebody off, you don't take the blanket, that's probably a 3-star review. That hurts, especially on a new listing.
You know, what type of character qualities would you say are the most important for someone that is looking to get into the space? So let's compare it, like someone that is, you know, like the short-term rental versus the long-term rental mindset, because you have the experience with both. So what are some of the mindsets from a short-term rental host versus a long-term rental host?
Well, let me start with the long-term rental side, because honestly, it's what I got used to a little bit early, right? You know, you do all this work, you get somebody into a space, right? My tenants, they use an app. They use an app to pay me. They use an app to communicate with me. They report issues through there. And I mean, it's a thing I just monitor, and I just send a quick little message. They send an issue, like I'll send somebody out and it's done. It's over with. There's really no interacting. I don't call them. I don't talk to them. I don't do any of that stuff unless there's a problem on my end. and they only reach out unless there's a problem on their end. The flip side of that is I make consistent money, but not a lot. On the short term rental side of things, I touch a lot of guests within a short period. Within a month, I might have, let's just say, 25 guests. So 25 people within a month that I technically have to talk to about the same things over and over again. How do I check in? What's the Wi-Fi password? You know, you got to have some patience because I write down the Wi-Fi password in over 3 different places, and I still get the question. You know, it's somewhat annoying, but at the same point, it's just a question. It's a simple answer that can be responded to in a pleasant way. And you almost have to treat each guest as they're somebody brand new. If you cannot reset and not bring issues from the last guest to the current guest, then this isn't a thing for you. If you cannot just surround whatever content that you want to send to a guest with nice words and be pleasant in your delivery, this is not the business for you. If you don't like to be inconvenienced in any type of way, 100%, this is not the business for you. I don't know how many times I've been out doing something and had to cut it short because something was going on. So your guests do have some type of importance. And if you can't set that aside, you can't do this.
You know, when I think of a machine, sometimes I think of something that is kind of emotionless, like it's just like a robot. But you know, and you could definitely create these very bare bones minimum systems. Like if someone says, "Where do I go to eat?" you send them a Yelp review, or if someone says, you know, what's the best way to get around, and you just give them an Uber referral link. Like you could create those systems, but that doesn't mean that your business is going to be doing good.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, this is 100%. You can automate all those responses, but people will, one, know they're talking to a computer. They'll feel like you're very cold and rude. All that equals bad reviews. So you got to take the nice approach and personal approach.
Yeah, so I think that's a really good way to kind of wrap up this episode. Is that, you know, why do you want to become a host? Is it because you're looking for the cold hard money, and you're just looking for something that is going to be able to, you know, increase your bottom dollar? Then maybe long-term rentals is right for you, because you're not going to be dealing with the stress of guests. You know, you don't have to interact with them, and once they leave, you just get the right person that fills your right criteria. So maybe even the long-term rental is even more like robotic, bare bones, systematized. But short-term rentals, it is a lot more personable. There's more caress to it. You're in a hospitality business, like you said. This is hospitality. This is not real estate. So I think we definitely hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah, definitely. Like, again, if this is not you, don't do it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be people that are going to try. I'm sure that plenty of people are going to be getting into the space, and there's going to be lots of new people as more of this Airbnb, like millionaire stuff, kind of is hidden, and more people are becoming interested. There's going to be lots more hosts on the platform that are just looking to make a quick buck, and that's going to be the difference between if you're going to be doing well in this business or if you're not going to be doing well. Because all the people that are just looking for that dollar, they're not going to last. They're
Right.
you know, people aren't going to want to stay there, because that's not what a host is. A host is a person that takes care of their guests. And even if you do have those systems in place, you could still be a host that has those systems, that is really caring and really personable.
Yeah, I mean, and when those people fail at whatever and they have to get rid of their listings, it's going to be somebody like myself or somebody that is really interested in this space that picks it up and is able to succeed with the exact same place. So your personal interaction with these people is valuable.
Definitely. So I think we're going to wrap up this episode, and we're going to continue onto the foundation of your short-term rental journey. So we're going to be covering, again, these episodes of just kind of starting off in the short-term rental space, and then we're going to be building on top of that, brick by brick, until we get to where we're doing some more major stuff, such as like reaching out to landlords, market research, setting up your LLC, stuff like that. we're going to be covering that. But right now, we're just laying the foundation so that we have a good base, a strong base of how we're going to be building this journey. So hope you hosts enjoyed this episode. And until next time, Host Nation, keep on hosting. Hope you hosts found value in this episode. If you did, please go on over to iTunes and leave us a review, as that would greatly support the show. If you'd like to connect with John, the community, and I, then go on over to our Facebook group, The Host Nation. Talk to you hosts in the next episode. Keep on